Namaste, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining the Dharma Yoga practice. As always, please practice in accordance to your conditions and your abilities and modify as you need to. If you know the variations and you know the practice well, then I invite you to explore them. Otherwise, please modify as you need to. So, on that note, let's begin. Sit up tall and straight, close the eyes, and bring the attention inward. Before creation, what existed? God was always there in the midst of it all, and will still be there even beyond the ends of this universe. Attune to that divine, supreme consciousness now. Let's begin with the Om mantra 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's start off with color breathing. So imagine that you want to bring your attention to all the areas that we're concentrating on. This helps to increase our aura. Our aura is our protection against psychic attacks, which is negative energy that's directed towards us, whether it's unintentional or intentional. So imagine this great big sphere, this force field protecting you. That's your aura. And it's got all sorts of colors in it. So when you think of the Om, you might have heard that the Om is made up of all the colors and sounds and vibrations of the universe. Imagine that we're breaking it up into each of its constituents. and concentrating that power in each of those colors. So we're going to concentrate on the area of the body and the color at the same time. And your attention is like a magnet, it attracts all the prana, all the healing energy there, if that's where you're sending, if that's what your intention is, to heal. So this has profound benefits if you direct it to not only yourself but to others. So let's begin. Starting at the lower 3 chakras, located at the root, the navel area, and the sacral area. The color is red. The sound is ah. Just allow the breath to carry the sound until you run out of breath. Loud and deep. Inhale. Now go to the heart. The color is green. The sound is you, a little bit of a higher pitch this time. Imagine that you're piercing all the energy into that area to bring healing, not only in a physical but in an emotional sense as well. Inhale. Go to the base of the throat now. The color is blue. The sound is so. Remember that all the words that come out of the throat should be ones of loving kindness and compassion. Inhale. Next, the space between your eyebrows. Picture another shade of blue, and this sound is E. So just concentrate on this area. This is also where the pituitary gland is located. And when you bring your attention there, you stimulate that gland, that hub of the endocrine system, and it in turn brings radiant health to all the other glands in the body. Another shade of blue, again, E. Inhale. Oh, it's the same area just behind it perhaps. And this is the next one, which the color is indigo. The sound is sun, S-U-N. Concentrate on the latter part of the sound, the N part, which produces vibrations. You want to pick a pitch so that you feel it right in the center of the forebrow again, and imagine that those vibrations are strong enough to dislodge all the impurities from wherever they're sitting in a body. Then they're going to be brought out into the bloodstream and out of the body altogether. Inhale. And finally, the crown. Color is violet. The sound is sum, S-U-M. The vibrations again, this is what you concentrate on the latter part of the sound, which helps to produce mental sharpness. Inhale. Sum. do that one more time. Concentrate on the crown, the vibrations strong enough to produce all the mental clarity and sharpness. Inhale. Take a few moments to just allow yourself to be absorbed in the sounds and vibrations, the colors. Feel as though those effects are lingering on and on. So now let's just do 3 rounds of purifier pranayama. Imagining it being purified from the inside out. All the purifying effects going all throughout the body. And then as you exhale, let go of all the impurities. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected in Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, other 2 fingers straight on the left knee. Right hand, second and third fingers fold down towards the palm, turn the palm towards you. This becomes a mudra that we use for pranayama. The thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left nostril. All the concentration goes to the space between the eyebrows and the breath retention. The rhythm is 4, 12, 8, 4 on the inhale, 12 on the hold, and 8 on the exhale. Contract, remember to apply the throat in a root lock. We apply them every time we hold the breath over 10 counts. So the root lock, you imagine lifting the whole pelvic floor up towards the navel. Push it up and in. And for the throat lock, as you inhale, you want to raise the chest up high. So when you bring down the chest, the chin, lands on the chest without hunching the back. Keep the back straight. The tongue to roof the mouth behind the teeth, and again, the center of attention at the center of the forebrow. Exhale, just try to coordinate so that by the end of the 8th count, you're completely empty, and you release the locks, of course, on the exhale. So to begin, just 3 times. Exhale, completely empty the lungs. Inhale through both nostrils. 3, 4, hold the breath. Plug the nose with the thumb and the 4th finger of the right hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left side. 2, 3, 4, nice and evenly. 6, 7, 8. Inhale again through both nostrils. 3, 4, hold the breath again. Everything stops, all the mind fluctuations of body movements and emotions are frozen. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out through the left side slowly and evenly. 2, 3, release the locks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time, inhale. 3, 4, hold the breath for 12. Remember the throat and the root lock, third eye attention. Exhale out through the left side. 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now release the thumb, just sit quietly for a moment. Imagine the best now is taking place through this practice, through the pranayama, the purification, breath, and now through the postures. Through the postures, try to see God in all the forms. Through the practice, we're cleaning up our behavior, ethical behavior as well. Direct all your love and compassion towards all beings. See yourself in all beings. Without judgment, without expectation, what they should deliver to you, or the practice should deliver to you, without attachment to the results. know that's begin the practice. Come to standing. Alright, so standing with your feet about 10 inches apart, start to move the body now. Swing from side to side. Now the arms hit the body as you throw the arms around the torso. And now come back to the center, hands on the hips, circle the head. Try to get the ears to touch the shoulders, the back of the head to the top of the back, the chin to the chest. And then change the direction of rotation. Try to see the floor and wherever the head is in its rotation, even when you take the head back. And then now the right arm circles forward. Loosen up the shoulder joint. Feel as though you're holding weight of 5 pounds in your hand. And go backwards now. Make as though you're winding up to throw a ball. Left arm. And then back. And then release. Go, bring your arms over the head, take hold of the opposite elbows, bend to your left. Come up, go to the right, push hips out towards the left. And then up, go to the left again, stretch to the right side of the body. And then the left side stretches, hollow out the underside of the body. Try not to make wrinkles in the waist. And then to the other side. And one more time, to the left. And go to the right. Then coming back to the center, release the arms. Breath of joy. Making sure you do it with enthusiasm to make it live up to its name. First 3 movements on the inhale, last one. Throw all the negativity out on the exhale. Throw the body down. Looks like this. With me. Just roll the belly against the thighs. One more. Just allow the body to hang out here, head heavy. And then roll your way back up. Shake out the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly, like you have no control over the hands. They're moving all by themselves. And up and down, very, very rapidly again. Good. Next one, lion's breath. So you want to make like you're pouncing like a lion. The eyes go wide, the tongue hangs out of the mouth, so make a fierce expression. And then when you bend your knees, just go down as far as you can. A little bit of a jump too, as if you're trying to scare someone. And then back up. Now, arms out to the side. If you like, you can bring your left hand to the wall and swing the right leg back and forth. Try to get the knee right to the shoulder. Bend forward a little bit as the leg comes up. And then the other leg. Throw the leg back. Make like a pendulum that went out of control. And then release. Good. One more. Feet together, head down on the chest, humility pose. 6 counts to come up. Inhale, 2, 3. Lift up the heels, lift up the palms. 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. And down, 2, 3. Graceful movements. Feel like the arms are moving all by themselves. Up. Lift up off the heels, engage the legs and core. To stay steady, exhale, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Push through the roots of your toes, up, 2, 3. Keep inhaling, coming up higher, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Always with as much control as you can. Inhale, 2, 3. But whatever happens, be unconcerned, unjudging. 2, 3. Just do your best. 1, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Bring the chin back down to the chest and stay in that mindset, a temperament of humility throughout the practice. Imagine you're a servant to all beings everywhere, offering your divine service to them. And now let's come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskara. Hands to the heart. Imagine you're moving with all beings everywhere, like a school of fish. Raise your arms up overhead, stretch back, and come down. Uttanasana, bend your knees if you need to, bring hands flat on the ground, belly under thighs. Then right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank, lower down the knees and the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward between your arms, brush the nose to the floor. As you come forward, take the shoulders back, Bhujangasana. And all the way back again, the seat behind the heels. Come forward again. Glide smoothly like a snake creeping through the grass. Arch the back. If you try to get into the mind and the body of the snake, come forward again. Copy them physically, mentally, and spiritually. Take the head back and back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the seat, allow the heart to melt, the head to come down. Right foot forward, drop down to the seat and the knee. Left foot steps forward to meet the right. Uttanasana again, bow to your legs. Come right up to standing, engage the buttocks and the upper back muscles to support you in the movement. Hands back to the heart. Raise your arms up again, stretch, fold down, fold the body right in half. Left foot back, lower down the knee, into the plank, right back down to the knees and the seat all the way back. Once again, creep forward like a snake creeping through the grass, come forward. Blessed are those who can imitate the form physically, all the way back again. Twice blessed are those who can imitate them mentally, each form. One more time, all the way back. 3 times are you blessed? You can imitate the form spiritually. Adho Mukha Savasana, lift the seat, bring the head down below the arms. Left foot forward, back knee down, sink down to the seat. Feet come together, Uttanasana. Then you drive all the benefits, all the qualities of every being, all of them, divine manifestations of God's grace and beauty. Come right up again. Pull the body down, Uttanasana. Right foot back, into the plank. The knees down, the seat's back. This time as you come, hips come forward between your hands. Lift your hips and knees away from the ground. Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Melt the heart towards the ground, the head comes below the arms. And then a right foot forward. Feet together, Uttanasana, bow to legs, gesture of humbleness. Come right up to standing, arch back, stretch the whole front of the body. And Pranamasana. Up again, don't worry about the breath, just move the body in a way that feels natural and comfortable, that allows the breath to remain steady and uniform. Left foot back. The breath will figure out what to do and deliver ease and steadiness and fluidity of movement. The seat's back, again come forward, hips come to your hands, lift the hips and the knees away from the ground if you can. Upward facing dog. Right into downward facing dog, push with your hands. And then left foot steps forward. Feet come together, bow to the legs again. Every movement reflecting devotion, surrender to the divine grace, humility, hands back to the heart. Go up and back again. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Right foot back. Keep the back knee lifted this time. Keep the back leg strong. Into a plank. So from here, you can either do chaturanga and through into upward facing dog, like that. If you have more strength, Bring the seat all the way back behind your heels. Start your way into upward facing dog. Right from there, pull your elbows into the sides body. Try not to drop your hips and knees to the ground in between. Modify, of course, according to condition. Stay here for a moment. Press into the base of the toes. Pulse a little bit. Make as though you're trying to fold the body in half. Take the shoulders back, the nose up. Like a dog howling at the moon. Visualize that being in your mind. Just try to realize what you see in your imagination. Now push into your hands. Lift the seat and bring the head down. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pulse here again. Try to get your chest down, closer to the ground. The head down. If you can touch your forehead to the ground, without bending your elbows, that's awesome. But even so, if you can't, just do your best. Some of you are even more flexible. Get your chin to the ground, your nose and your chin. Push the hips back. Make like a dog, stretching its back. Now from here, look to the hands, bring the right foot forward. Keep the back leg strong. And send the left foot in to meet the right, Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up over the head, arch back. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Peel the body back and then pull the body down onto your legs. Fold the body right in half. Left foot back, keep the back leg strong. Send it back into high plank. And from here again, chaturanga, or bring the seats back and see if you can pull yourself right into upward facing dog from here without, again, touching your knees and hips to the ground. Now from here, see if you can round your back, tuck your chin in. 3 transitions between upward and down, downward and upward and downward. Now downward facing dog. As soon as you reach there, come forward again, rounding your back. So you're trying to push your heart between your shoulder blades and out through the center of the chest. Back the other way now. Round your back, tuck the chin. Sink your heart towards the ground. One more time, come forward. Upward facing dog, uncoil. Push the shoulders back, telescope the neck out of the shoulders. Back the other way, round your back. And back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Here, just express a loyalty to the dog to its master. Embody that beautiful quality of the dog. And then from here, step the left foot forward, back leg stays strong, knee stays lifted. Back into Uttanasana, pull the body to your legs, head down. Come right to standing, reach up over the head. Come back home. And one more variation. Sweep the arms up over the head, stretch. Fold the body down in half. Actually bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs, and then pull your hands over your head. Uttanasana, plunge your head deeper down. Try to use your body to push your legs straight back. Eventually maybe your legs straighten all the way if you can. If you can't straighten your legs, try to get your chest below your knees and your forehead to your shins. If your body starts to detach from the legs, just keep your knees bent so that your belly can rest on your thighs. And then from here, without touching hands to the ground, look forward, bring your weight into your left foot, hold your breath and bring the right foot back. Bring the knee down, flatten out the toes without touching your fingers to the ground. Right into Kapiyasana. Pull the arms up and back behind your head. Good. Radiate your inner light. And like you're doing a divine dance of devotion, plant your hands. Swing your left leg all the way up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Link the movements together seamlessly, coming forward into high plank. If you can, pull the elbows into the sides of the body. Lower down your chest first. If it's too much, you can lower your knee at the same time as the chest is coming down. Then the toes touch down, right into upward facing dog. Immediately back into downward facing dog. Smooth transition. And then raise your right leg up quietly, nice and tall. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Step the foot between the hands. Back knee down, flatten out the toes. Raise your arms up with the head, join the hands together, Kali Mudra. Make like a crescent moon shape. Good. And then come forward again. Hold your breath, weight on the right foot, swing your left hands behind, and bring the left foot in to meet the right, all without touching your hands to the ground if possible. Uttanasana. Come all the way up, arch back. Hands back to the heart. These sun salutations are so beautiful. Make it worthy of God's attention. Make it a beautiful divine offering, the best that you can. By injecting grace and power and fluidity into the movements. Bend your knees, push your belly into your thighs, and send your hands over your head. Uttanasana, gesture of lowliness. Look forward a little bit, weight on your right foot, bring the left foot back, and swing the arms, circle the arms all the way up behind your head. Kapyasana, lean away from the leg. Good. And then right back down again. Press into your hands. Swing the right leg up. Be like a well-oiled machine, moving smoothly. Come forward into high plank. Bend the elbows, come down with your chest. Pushing the base of the toes. Right through into upward facing dog. And then back into downward facing dog. Again, modify according to your abilities. Left foot up and back. Ekapada Adho Mukha Savasana. And step the foot between the hands. The breath all the way through is even and steady. Bring your arms up over the head. Kapyasana, just like the voice of the Guru expands the mind with its knowledge. The breath expands the body. Swing your arms back behind your head. Hold your breath and bring the right foot in to meet the left. Uttanasana. Bow into the legs. Come right up to standing. Reach up over the head, arch back. And then come back home. Pranamasana. Take pause here. From the heart, inhale all the love from the heart up to the crown. Send all your love up there, and then on the breath retention, send it out to all beings everywhere. Imagine it just circulating everywhere. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in the heart, the spiritual heart, all throughout the practice and everything that you do. And release. Good. When you stay in that place of compassion, you attract good outcomes. So now we're going to do the postures now. So standing on your left foot first. Let's start off with ballet pose. If you need to stand against a wall, you can if you have trouble bouncing. So then you take your right heel up in your hand, holding it from the inside, and bring the leg out. It might look like a T. Try to get your fingertips on the same line as your toes. If you're more flexible, you can bring the foot up higher, closer to the shoulder. Lean a little bit to your left. If you're having trouble getting your legs straight, you can hold underneath the knee and pull it out straight. Push out to the base of the toe as best as you can, the inside edge of the foot. Good. You can lean back a little bit if you like. Open yourself up like a magnificent, poised, graceful dancer. Good. Now bring the knee in towards the chest, in towards the hip. Turn the foot so that the foot is on the same line as the knee roughly. Bend your knee. Another form of dancer, Natarajasana. Arms out to the side, bring the left wrist over the right. Imagine the form of a dancing Shiva. Try not to drop your elbows down, you should stay in the same line. From elbow to elbow, including the wrists. Good, now press into your left foot, come up. Bring the knee up as high as you can and push it down onto your left thigh. Turn a little bit to your left, point your toe. You might be able to hook your foot around the back leg. If it doesn't hook, don't worry about it, just leave it there. From here, left arm over the right. Press the forearms together. Bring the elbows in front of the shoulders and sit a little bit lower. Be like an eagle, just contemplating where to fly today. And come into this mindset. Merge with the form. Now press into your left foot and come back up. Release. Be like a shapeshifter moving between the forms. Press into the right foot and come up again into ballet pose. Take hold of the inside of the left heel if you can, or modify as you need to. Hold underneath the knee. And then bring the leg out to the height that you can get your fingers and toes on the same line and your legs straight as possible. Of course, you're more flexible, bring your foot up higher. It might look more like a letter Y if you have your leg beside your ear. Lean back a little bit. Open up. Offer every pose a divine expression of love and devotion. And from here, bend your knee. Take the foot across the front of the hip, the toes about the same line as the knee. Bend your left leg a little bit, sink into your right leg a little bit, and then arms out to the side, right wrist over the left. Make sure this doesn't happen again. Elbows in the same line, shoulders over the hips, fingers in a straight line. Be graceful, like the dancing Shiva. Now press into your right foot to bring the left knee up higher, so you can wrap it a little bit higher, push it a little bit higher on the thigh. Turn towards the right, point the toes, and you might be able to hook your foot around the back of the standing leg. If not, don't worry about it again. The right arm over the left, elbows in front, the shoulders, and try to get a little bit lower. Whatever happens, remain unconcerned, unjudging. Just do your best. Stay in the same temperament all throughout. Push into your right foot and come back up. Release. Okay, another sequence here. We're going to pretend now we're that great eagle, but we're taking flight now. Take your left foot forward. Sweep the arms out to the side. Bend down so your belly comes onto your thigh. And bring the right leg up. Try to arch your back. Try to get your foot higher than the head. Point the toes. If you need to, you can always take your fingertips to the ground. If you're starting to lose your balance. Good. Now come up. This is a very similar pose, except it's in another orientation. Upright, angel. Bring your arms out to the side. If you can't keep your foot up, bring your chest forward and up. Allow your head to go back so your back again arches. Open yourself up to divine service. Like the messenger of God, always ready to do their duty. And then break the pose, coming back down. That's too, for the next time, if you had trouble balancing, you could just always keep your toes on the ground for that one. Try it on the other side now. Getting ready to take flight. Bring your arms out to the side. Right foot forward. Bend down. Your head close to about the height of the knee. And then bring the left leg up. Swoop down like a great eagle coming down from a cliff at great speed. You have to imagine yourself in the form. All the qualities of every being. We all have them within, you just have to turn them on. So at one point we assumed them, we were them. The postures are a reminder of our evolution towards self-realization. You have to pass through all forms. And now press into the right foot, come up. Good. If hands come to about the height of the shoulders, pull the hands back, chest forward, get a sense of body flight. And bring your head back, looking up. Open yourself up to divine grace. And bring the foot down. So now, let's continue. Bring your feet, turn so that you're facing the long edge of the mat. Your fingers together on the same line as the elbows. Jump your feet apart. Go to your left. If you can't see the screen, just turn around 180 degrees. Reach forward a little bit. Try to get your hip down so that the knee comes over the toes. Strong pose here. Now bring the right arm out to meet the left. Virabhadrasana 1. Take your head back, look up, express the devotion of the warrior to their people. The knee is close to the ground. If you can, if it's too much, bring your knee right down on the ground. If you can't turn your hip all the way, you can lift the back heel. Stay strong and steady in the pose. just like the warrior. And then bring the knee down here. So from here, flatten out the toes. Do that famous Dharma wiggle that we all love so much to loosen up your shoulders. Try to get your arms back a little bit further, maybe left side or even behind your ears. Push your chest up, make sure you don't crunch your lower back. You have to pull the body up out of the hips. If you're more flexible, you can do other variations. You can try to bring your foot to your head. For instance, take your fingertips down. If your hips are low, you'll be able to touch your ground to the fingers more easily. And then bring your right foot up. Bring your head back. Maybe your foot will come to the head eventually. If your foot, you can't find where it is, you can just try to see if you can press your thumb into the back of the knee. Wrap your hand around the outside of the knee. And then you can guide the foot a little bit more easily to the head. If you have good balance, bring your arms up, chain pose. These are, of course, just more advanced variations for those who want to try. Now break the pose, coming back down. From here, push your seat up a little bit. Legs are like a box, bend the toes under the back foot. Right arm up. Go to the outside of the left leg. So do it this way. You want to have the armpit sitting on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushing the right. You can use a fist if you like. So don't stay up here with your hands at the shoulders. You want to push down the left hand into the right so the belly comes higher over the thigh. And at the same time, you try to push your chest towards the thumb thigh as you rotate to your left. Take your left shoulder all the way back. If you know how to take a bind, you can go ahead. Push the seat back. Your elbows close to the front, just to the calf. And then use the left hand to slide. Guide the hand underneath the leg more easily, have more space. Left arm goes over the back. Join your hands, lock your hand, fingers together, or hold your left wrist with your right hand. Hold your breath so you can take your back knee up off the ground. Then take the left shoulder back again. Open up your chest fully. Good. Now from here, those who want to challenge, look forward, bring the right foot in a little bit, tip forward so your head's coming close to the foot. Hold your breath and see if you can get the right leg up. If you can't do it with a bind, you can just bring the right hand to the inside of the foot in front about 14 inches or so. Turn your body to your left. Hand can stay in the seat or straight up, so this is another option. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana. And bring the foot back down. So from here, we're going to move our hands to the inside. Your left hand a little bit behind your heel. You can stay on the fingertips if you like, or bring your hands to block your elbow in line with your left knee. Bring the right arm up. Trikonasana. I should do it this way so you can see. And then from here, if you want, you can take a bind. The right arm goes behind the back. You need to take a half bind. The left hand slips around the back and then finds its way on the thigh. Roll the thigh outwards. Or if you want, bend your left knee a little bit so your shoulder goes just on the inside of the knee, and then your left arm can come underneath the leg. You join your hands just beside your hip on the back of the left thigh. Now you can stay there, or you can do bound Ardha Chandrasana from here. Move the right foot in a little bit, bring your weight over your left foot, even if you just take your toes up off the ground. But eventually you can raise your right leg up. Again, if it's too much, just take your left hand forward in front of the left foot, and the right arm comes out, the regular Ardha Chandrasana. Break the pose, coming back down with your right foot, turn to the front of the mat, left foot moves out to the edge, and then slide your right toes back. Try to get your hips to come down. Just fall to your right. Maybe you can land on the forearm and roll back to your left. If your hip is very far away from the ground, you can just stay on your hands, but keep on trying to sink your seat forward, your hips towards the ground, like you're doing a cobra pose. When the hips are anchored down, eventually the rest of the body will come down. Maybe the Pelvis will come down next, followed by the chest eventually. If you're flat on the chest, you can bring your left hand to the outside of the foot. Make sure your knee is not falling away from the shoulder like this, nor the foot falling away like this. You want to have your foot and your knee in the same line close to the shoulder. Be like a lizard now, sunning yourself on a warm earth. Go to a place of ease. Imagine where the lizard is at ease. Put yourself in that place as well. Now coming back onto the hands here. From here, pigeon. Just bring your knee out to your left. Bring your shin and your hip down. And try to get so that your legs are crossed straight with the front edge of the mat as well. If it's too much, your hip are a little bit more tight, just bring your foot in a little bit. Use a block if you need to underneath your left side of your seat. Try to get both sides of the hips even. Just roll from side to side a little bit. Try to get the right front hip down. Then take the foot with your right hand and slide your left arm forward. Your knee is underneath, your left knee is underneath the left arm pits, and then eventually bring your right arm forward. Eventually maybe your leg is close to the top of the chest. Telescope the body forward. And coming back. Bring the knee up. So from here, I'm going to try Visvamitrasana. So if you can, push your seat back. Get your left shoulder in behind if you can. And you can even stay here. You can stay on the knee, lean a little bit forward, push the back shoulder into the knee. If you can maybe take your knee up off the ground and stay here. But if you want to move a little bit more into the pose, you turn towards the right foot goes flat, and allow the left leg to sit on the arm. You can do this with your knee down as well, like this. Okay, so bit by bit. Once you get this drawing, you take the knee up the ground. Your leg is close to the shoulder, and then you can straighten your leg. You don't have to hold the foot. This is if you have the flexibility to do so. You can just have the right arm up as well. You want to push the arm into the inside of the knee, inside the leg. And then return. As Dharmaji says, not important. The important thing is that you just visualize yourself in the form, maybe try a little bit to the extent that you can, and then bit by bit, you increase your abilities. Now coming back here, pressing into the toes and spinning towards the long edge of the mat again. Arms out to the side and come up. Go to the right. Sink down to the right hip. Come forward again. Be strong and mighty like the warrior. And then bring the left arm up to meet the right. Modifications always in play if you need them. Quiet and steady and strong in all the poses. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. And you want to really sink your seat all the way forward. If you have trouble with your knee, you just roll your mat over to provide extra cushioning. But if you sink your seat forward, you'll be not as much on the knee, you'll be on the thigh. Kapiyasana. Bring your arms up and back behind your head. If you can, stretch. Imagine your index fingers going over the back toe. If you want to take other variations, you can try to bring your swan, or your feet to the side of the hips, and get your left foot up towards the head. Maybe use your hand on the knee, thumb in the back of the knee, and cup your hand around the outside of the knee so your foot finds the head. Rest your head and your foot eventually. You can maybe bring your hands up. Break the pose. Bring the foot back down. From here, slide your right foot in. Then the toes under, come into more upright position. Parivrita Pashakanasana. Left arm up. Angle the body towards the right so you can get your arm to sit, armpit sitting on the outside of the knee. Right hand pushes into your left. Again, really push into your hands in a downward motion so the belly comes higher than the thigh. Then you can spin more easily. Eventually your chest and face will turn right up, like you're lying on your back. If you want to try your bind, push your hips back. Your elbows close to the front shin, so you have lots of space, more space for that leg to go through, and the arm to go through underneath your leg. Right arm goes over the back, lock your fingers together, or hold the right wrist as your left hand. If you can, hold your breath again, and take your left knee up off the ground. Pull the right shoulder back. Try not to allow the leg to go lazy and slack if you lift your knee up. Keep the leg very strong. Heel to the crown, straight line. Again, if you want to try the Revolved Chandrasana, if you can, look forward, bring your left foot in a little bit. You have to have your hip over your heel for this to work more easily. Take your head down, hold your breath until you get your left leg up. Again, if it's too much, left hand can come in front of your left foot, thumb in line with the big toe, and bring the right arm up if you can, or keep it on your seat. Your hips are looking down. Break the pose. Bring the left foot down here. And from here, turn to the inside. Slide your right hand just behind the heel a few inches. You can stay on your fingertips if you like, your elbow against the inside of the right knee. Left arm up, Trikonasana. Keep your arms and legs straight. Think of all the triangles formed by the limbs and the arms, and try to make the lines as sharp and straight and true as possible. Now from here you can take your half bind, slide your left arm behind your back, hand comes to the inside thigh, roll the thigh outwards, or bend your right knee a little bit. Bring your shoulder down so that's in line with the knee, just a little bit below. The right arm can go underneath the leg more easily, and then left arm goes behind your back. Hold the wrist, and then pull the left shoulder back. Make sure you're not binding over your seat. Your hands are beside your hip, just against the back of the thigh. Now from here, you can stay here, or you can try to move your left foot in a little bit. Again, your right hip over the right heel, hold your breath, your head close to your foot, and so you can take your left leg up. Again, for advanced practitioners, this is more your level, you can bring your right hand to your in front of the foot. Ardha Chandrasana. You can even do this on your right knee if you want. Find the position that you can realize with ease, with steadiness, but still, bit by bit, you work towards the edge of your potential. And bring your left foot down, turn towards the front of the mat, slide your left toes all the way back. See if you can fall to your left, so you can get your left hip down, and your left forearm, and roll back to the right. Lizard. Telescope your chest forward. The more you lengthen, the more the body approaches the ground. Eventually, right on your chest, your right shoulder lands on a foot. Try to have both the front of the hips on both sides as even as possible. Embrace the stillness of the pose. Use these opportunities, just go inward. Merge with the form. And then coming back. And from here, we're moving into pigeon. Move your foot over to your left and drop the knee down. Adjust as you need to. You can bring your foot closer to your hip, or keep, if you can, the front of the shin flush with the front end of the mat. Rock from side to side a little bit. Try to get more weight into your left hip. And then take hold of the foot with your left hand. Reach towards the right. Maybe eventually you can take your left arm forward as well. Bow down as though in surrender. Renounce all the fruits. As soon as you start to have expectations, the mind gets restless and then very difficult, not possible to meditate because there's no concentration. Now we're going to come back. Bring the right knee up. And from here, if you can again, Viswamitrasana or its variations. Push your seat back. Try to get your right shoulder in behind the knee. Again, you can work the level here. You can just press back and forth, just trying to push the front shoulder against the back of the knee. Then you can take your left knee up off the ground. And if you do that, maybe you can spin towards the left. The left foot goes flat. You have to have weight in your right hand so that you can pick your right leg up and just allow it to sit on the arm. And then push into the back of the inside the knee. Left arm come up. If you're more flexible, reach across. Take hold of the outer edge of the foot and push the foot out. You can do this on your left knee as well. You can bring your left knee down. And break the pose. Bring the right foot back down. From here, walk your hands again towards in between the legs. So hands out to the side and come up. So I'll do it this way so you can see. Hands to the heart. Wow. So hero sequence. So think of a hero. They always, again, they're doing things to put others before themselves, to serve their people that they serve. From the solar plexus, your source of inner power, inhale all your power up to the crown. And then send your power out to all beings, so that all beings, especially those who don't feel empowered, can benefit from your source. Exhale back down to solar plexus. So from here, take your hands to your seat. Pull your heels in a little bit, toes pointing out. Bend your knees like you're sitting on a horse. Push your hips, or pull your hands down the seat. Allow the head to go back. And bring your hands. Slide them down one at a time if you like, just below the knees. The heels, your palms sitting on the on the calves, the upper calves, and then use your thumbs. Use your hands to roll the thighs outwards and the shins inwards. It's a good place to have your hands just below the knees. You have good control there. If you're more flexible, you can walk your hands even further down. So you might be able to step on your fingers with your heels. Push your hips forward and up so the legs eventually straighten a little bit more. Easy wheels you want to have it. No breaks in the curve from the foot for all the way around the circle. And then coming back, walk hands up the backs of your legs one at a time, walking one higher than the other. Keep pressing into the backs of the legs and eventually onto your seat. Push into seat and pull down. Arms out to the side, hinge forward. Take your hands to your shins, or if you can, step on your fingers with the outer edge of the feet. Lengthen, bring the head forward. Exhale, pull the head right in between your feet if you can. Good. If you're more flexible, try to get the head in line with the heels. Your chest comes behind your legs. Keep that spiral going, the thighs outwards, the shins inwards. Those you like can come into some kind of inversion if you like. You can take headstand for instance, with your hands coming into tripod, fingers behind your heels and come up. Straddle up. If you can't straddle up, you can also walk your feet behind your wrists and then come into teddy bear. Just rest just underneath your knees against your elbows. Flick your toes away from the ground. Just bend your toes back. And maybe bring eventually your feet up. Move your knees closer to your shoulders. And then eventually, if you want, you can make your way up into headstand. Bring your knees up over your hips. Extend your legs up. and then come down gracefully. You straddle down or come back into teddy bear if you like. Coming into tuck. Landing your feet exactly in line with your head again. Arms up to the side, come all the way up. Again, hands on your seat, turn your toes outwards again. Once again, easy chakrasana. Bend your knees, push your hips forward, and slide your hands down, backs your legs if you like, or keep them on your seat. If you're close, your hands close to the ground, you can see the ground easily. So you might be able to take Urdhva Dhanurasana and take one arm over the head, find the ground, and then take your other hand to the ground. And then back, if you do Urdhva Dhanurasana, one hand back at a time, on your lower leg, just underneath the knee, push your legs forward so you stay balanced. Anchor down to the inner edge of the feet, to the outer edge of the feet. And then the other hand comes on the back of the other leg, and then walk your way back up. Everybody else as well. Come back up, arms out to the side, and jump your feet back together. Tadasana, mountain pose. From the base of the spine, inhale up to the crown, like the summit of a mountain. Exhale back down to the base of the spine, just like the base of the mountain, be solid and unmovable. Absolutely unshakable in your devotion to the practice. Good. Now from here, if you like, you can fall into plank. If you have any wrist issues, I recommend you don't do that. So you can just come into table and walk into plank. If you feel like you want, you can hold your breath, engage your core, arms in front, come forward. And from here, Vasisthasana, move the left hand more towards the right in front of the nose, come up, straight arms from hand to hand. Keep your hips lifted. If your hips start to sag and start to fall on your shoulders, it's going to feel very heavy, very fast. So push your hips up, keep your left arm fully extended. You can come back to the front, go on the other side now. On the right hand, right foot, you can keep your ankles crossed if you like. It makes it a little bit more easy. Or you can take your feet, left on top of the right. If you're having trouble, you can just come onto your right knee. Good. Exercise. Angry determination, all the poses. Try to go to the edge of your potential. Over and over again, so eventually you keep on redefining your edge. Come back to plank, and then downward facing dog. One more round on the left hand. You can do any variation you like now. Come back into Vasisthasana. You want to slide your right toes back, spin on the foot, pull the left foot in a little bit more so that the foot's closer. You can get your hips higher, and your hips can come over your knee a little bit more easily. Then you're anchored down. You want to have your left inside edge of the foot glued down so you can take your right knee up more easily. If you're on the edge of the foot, it's a little bit harder to keep your balance. If you can take hold of your foot if you have the reach. Break the pose gracefully. Spin on the heel of the palm. Turn, keep your hip high so then your arm extended so you can come back gracefully. And then go on the other hand and foot. Go to your left this time. Vasisthasana, any variation or modification you need to. Slide your left toes back if you want to go to wild things. Spin on the heel of the palm. And bring again right foot closer so you can get the base of the big toe down. The inner edge of the foot has to press down. And then it makes it a lot more easy to take your left knee up. Catch the knee. Maybe catch the foot. Keep your head up high. Think of Urdhva Dhanurasana, same type of shape. Break the pose, bring the left foot down, and then turn back. From here, from plank, lower the knees down. Bring your seats back, and you can either sit on your heels and walk back like this, soften your knees as far as you can. If you can sit between your heels, Sutta Virasana. Keep your thighs together if you can. And then if you have more flexibility, you can come down on your elbows, tilt the hips forward, or you can even come all the way down onto your back. If you're on your back, you hold the opposite elbows. Take a deep breath in here. Balloon out the chest. Exhale. Feel the whole back body sagging from its heaviness. Sink it down. Now from here, come back to seated position. If you're on your back, press your hands into the soles of the feet. Push into your elbows, peel your shoulders up off the mat, and just make your way up. Okay, so now headstand, king of the poses. If you know what you're doing, you can go ahead. Or if you want, you can use a chair or a wall to assist you. If you're feeling like you're not wanting to come very far from the ground, you can just take hair pose. You bring your forehead close to your knees and you lift up your seat until your hips are over the knees, and you just try to stay in this pose. If it's too much pressure in the back of the neck, you just bring your head forward a little bit more so you're on the top of the head. If you want to do this against your the chair, on chair or wall, place your feet close to the base of the chair. Make sure you can hold your elbows easily. They're underneath your shoulders, so they're close to your knees, like you're in child's pose. And then bring your hands forward. Don't move your elbows. Bring your head down between your palms. Hold the palm, like the fingers are interlaced like a helmet for the head. You put your toes on either the seat of the chair or on the back of the chair, or on the wall maybe. So pretend that this is a wall. The wall's in the same line as the edge of the couch. And then you can bring one leg back. You just pull your toes away from whether it's a wall or the seat or the back of the chair. You just peel your toes away. You allow the back leg to hang very close to the ground if you can, as close as possible. So bend your knee very deeply and flex your toes. This is why you don't build up too much dependence on a wall. You're hardly touching it, and you just keep pulling your toes away from the wall or the chair. If you know other variations, go ahead and come into your lotus if you like. Remain steady once you find the pose. Leave the body low. Continue to be like the witness, just watching everything. You are just the seer, not the doer. What is desiring? What is doing the action? It's a mind, it's a body, it's the emotions, not the real you. You has the intelligence that is carried from self to self each time you evolve, each time you come into another new form. It's that spiritual essence and that divine intelligence that moves. That's you. That's your real you. Getting ready to break the pose now, coming down softly. You can split your legs if you like. Come down one foot at a time. Try not to land with a big, heavy, loud thud. Control it. Come into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then coming back up. Okay, so now we're going into plow pose. So bring your hands forward, bend toes under, make your way into downward facing dog. So you might want to walk a little bit more to the front of the mat so that you still have some mat when you're coming down onto your back. And from here, you can jump forward to the hands. If you want, you can try to jump forward, hold your breath, come into crow pose. Just like that. So if you have trouble doing that, you can just start with your feet a little bit closer and then just take your feet off the ground, just a little hop. So just transfer your weight. Shoulders move over your fingertips, and then bit by bit you bring your feet a little bit further back. Okay, so from here, once your feet are between your hands, bring your body up. Wrists loose, shoulders over the hips, and see if you can get your heels up off the ground. Try to make like you're leaning against the wall, your back is sliding down the wall. Come down, tuck your chin in, roll right back into pull-out pose. Take a moment here, try to get your shoulders behind your back. Move your wrists together, join your hands, your elbows come close together. Now from here, if you like, you can stay here, or if your feet aren't all the way down, you can bring your hands onto your back. Support your back so if you're not all the way up, all the way down. If you want, you can move your knees all the way to your left. Drop your left knee down beside your shoulder. Maybe drop the right knee down. French toes under. Come back up into plow. Go to the other side. Walk your feet over to the right. So you've got drop the right knee down beside the shoulder. And if you want to get your left knee down, you have to lift your left shoulder up off the mat a little bit as well. And back into plow. Bring your hands back onto your back from now right there. One leg up at a time into Shavasana. Take your time to get that one leg that's extended upwards very high so your toes are over your chin. And bring the other leg up to meet it. If you have a lotus, go ahead. A lotus makes every pose where where you're able to do it more one-pointed and focus. If you're wearing tops or shoulders, you might be able to take your hands on your thighs. You can do this with your legs straight as well. You have to be right on tops of your shoulders, your feet a little bit further forward over your head. If you're in lotus, try to get your knees higher than your hips. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deeper within. Beyond the body, the mind, and emotions, remember those are not you. And now bring your knees into your chest. If you're doing Pindasana, your lotus comes against your body. You can even maybe wrap your arms around your legs, your lotus. Join the hands underneath the seat. If you don't have a lotus, just do plow pose again. And maybe bring your knees down, if you like, beside your head, on either side of the head. Your knees can come down perhaps on your shoulders. If you're in Kanapidasana, maybe you can front your shoulders on the ground. Withdraw from the senses by shutting off the ears and the eyes. Now again, when you come out of the pose, bring your hands back onto the ground if they were there. If they weren't there, palms down. The thumb tips and the index fingers together. Start to roll down. Keep your legs attached to the body as long as you can. Keep your legs straight. Roll down bit by bit. Eventually your seat will land on a wrist. Keep bringing your legs down. Stop when you're halfway down. Keep your legs charged and up if you can. And then bring your chest up off the ground. So the body looks a little bit like the letter V or a check mark. Move your elbows in a little bit. Push your chest up. Shoulders back. Bring your top head to the ground. If it's too much, you bring your legs down to the ground. Bastrika breath. Breathe very fast in those like a sniffing dog. If you can, keep your head where it is. Bring your feet close to your seat, whether they were outstretched or up. Bring your feet right in front of your seat. Edge the feet in line with your hips. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Bring your fingertips on either side of the head, just a little bit in front, and then lift your seat up off the ground. Hold your breath, push into your fingertips and slide your head back further behind your hands. Then turn your hands around. Your fingers are slightly winged out. The fingers are facing towards the heels. They can stay there or take a half breath in, hold the breath. Come up. Urdhva Dhanurasana. If this is too much, just do bridge. The back of the head and the back of the shoulders, top shoulders on the mat. And just lift your hips up. Okay, so here just can see if you can stretch a little bit. Try to get your arms and legs straight and walk your hands a little bit closer to your feet. Lift your heels. Push your chest forward like you're trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. Be mighty and strong and formidable. Those of you who are able to can do drop backs or pull-ups if you like. Bring your hands a little bit closer into your feet. Hold the breath. And come all the way up. But again, advanced practitioners. Bring arms over the head. Hips forward, bend your knees. And come back into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Again, move according to your abilities and comfort level. And then lower down on the head, come back onto the back. Breathe in, breathe out, remove all fatigue. Now from here, raise the right leg up. Hold the ankle, bring the knee to the shoulder. Good. Try to get your legs straighter. Pull the foot right up close to the head. And then you can peel your shoulders up off the mat. Bring the forehead to your shin. If it's too much, if your hands just take inside your left foot in as well, to bring a little bit more release. Okay, so you might be able to move a little bit more deeper into the pose, more easily into the pose. Bring your head back down. From here, you can bring the right shoulder in front of the leg if you can. If not, you can just do happy baby pose. Just take hold of the edge of the foot, either the inside or the outside. Edge doesn't matter, but try to get your knee down to the ground beside your body, underneath your arm. If you're more flexible, you bring the right shoulder in front of the leg so that the back of the shoulder is pressing on the inside of the knee. That's to say the back of the knee. And then so you can lift your shoulders up off the ground. Here it becomes useful to bring your knee right into your shoulder, come into a tuck with your left leg. And then kind of worm your way, wiggle a little bit, try to get your right shoulder really deep into the knee and push the knee up so the knee comes close to the ear. Then you push the foot back behind your head, pull it towards your left. You might be able to get your foot behind your head. And then you can bring your left leg out if you can. Just keep trying. Don't worry about the results. But remember, these poses will not bring you to self-realization. It's all the work that goes with it. And observing ahimsa, yama niyama, the ethical rules, which is very, very important, which will get you closer to the place where you want to be self-realized and release. But the practice, the posture is becoming more meaningful if, again, you merge the form and try to see the divine essence in all the forms. Now bring your left leg up, take the knee to the shoulder, and then pull on the foot. Try to get closer to your head. Again, you can slide your right foot in if you need to. And peel your shoulders up off the mat. Try to bring your nose, your forehead to your shin. If you can straighten out the right leg again. Bring your head back down, and here the option to do half baby pose. Pull the left knee down just alongside your body underneath your arm, or so you can get your left shoulder in front of your leg. Push with the back of the knee. You have to lift your left side of the hip up. And then if you want, you can bring your right knee right into your shoulder as well, into tuck. Press into your left hand, lift your head up off the ground. Push the foot behind you. That's why you want to push your leg behind your shoulder first as far as you can. And then pull the foot towards the right. Then the leg goes a little bit more easy behind the head. It takes a while to get into the poses. Just have to keep on trying, bit by bit. And with, again, the intention of offering, having no attachment to results, the body might find its way there one day more easily. One day the body will obey. Break the pose. Bring the foot back down. And breathe in. Breathe out. Now roll your way up to seated. Make your way onto your belly. Bending the back the other way. Starting off with cobra. Hands underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back and start to make your way up. If you're getting too tired, if you have limited back mobility, you can stay in Sphinx. Just pull on the edge of the mat, get a little bit of traction. Keep the hips and the thighs and the tops of the feet anchored down. Good, bring your chest forward, your shoulders heavy. Make sure you don't jam up your neck between your shoulders and ears. Eventually you might be able to straighten your arms, get your elbows up off the ground. Your spine curves a little bit more, it's starting to look more like a C shape, the letter C. And then bit by bit, you can walk your hands closer in towards the body. Peel more of the body up off the front of the body, up off the mat. Your hips stay down, however. It's not upward facing dog. Your hips stay down. Head goes back. Those you want, come onto your fingertips. Try to get your fingers as close to the body as possible. Push into your fingertips. Drop your shoulders down, the telescopes of the neck out the shoulders. From here, almost the whole trunk is up off the ground, just the tops of your legs. From the tops of the legs down are still anchored down. If you want, you can separate your feet and bend. See if you get your toes to your head. Imagine you're squeezing socks behind your knees. The extra high fingertips will get you a little bit higher. You have lots of strength in your fingertips. Use your strength, use your pressure points. And then break the pose, come back down. Forehead on hands, breathe in. Breathe out, oh, fatigue. Good. One more back bend. You can either do cobra again, or maybe you can do Dhanurasana. Bring your right arm across the body, take your left foot up and take hold of the foot and pull it up. And then keep pressing, pulling with your foot. And then bring the other hand to the ankle. And then so you can pull the elbow, the feet up. You have to tug on the feet. The legs are, if you kick them, if you pull with your legs will pull your body up. Eventually you can see your toes over your body, over your head. Those who are advanced practitioners and have the shoulder mobility, you can do the full pose. You can turn your hands around, the thumb to the base of the toes on the other side of the edge of the foot, and the other fingers, and you pull the elbow. The elbow should be higher than, at least a little bit higher than the shoulder, so you can bring it forward without straining your shoulder. And then once the foot is up, you do the same on the other side. It's a little bit easier once you have one foot up. Know your limitations. Don't go to a place of pain or suffering or injury. Go to your edge in a mindful, reverent way. Remember how your feelings to an extent affecting everybody. Break the pose. Press into your hands, push up into table, and sit back. Bring your feet together and your knees together. Right arm behind the back, left arm up. And press your forearm against the outside of the right thigh. Push the lower back up and in, and turn to the right. Pull the knees. Imagine trying to pull your knees beyond the left edge of the body. So as you can try to take a bind. You lean, your knees fall to the right a little bit. My arm goes underneath the leg, left arm goes underneath the leg. And then the hand comes inside your seat eventually on the left side. You take your hands. You can use a strap if you can't reach. And release. Go to the other side. So if you're all hunched down, just for the sake of taking the bind, it's better to just maybe not take the bind so you can stay more upright, because you want to twist with a long spine and a straight back. Okay, so if you start to hunch and start to do this kind of thing, then maybe it's best to just stay upright without the bind. If you can, however, you can take your left arm underneath your legs. Your arm goes from the outside of the left leg and underneath. Push your lower back up and in. Sit tall and straight. Break the pose, come down onto your back. Slide your feet out and then make your way down softly on your back. No heavy falls to the ground. Gently. No jerks. No aggressive, loud movements. Once you're on your back, let go of all tension, all fatigue. Imagine a beach. Waves coming onto the beach, and like the waves roll onto the sand and pull out, and when they pull out, they take out all the debris with it. But when they come in with great force and power. So as you inhale, imagine that surge of the best coming in, bring it into your body, all the benefits of the practice, so many of them, countless. They come especially powerfully as a result of you offering up the fruits of the practice. They come back to you anyways. So fill yourself up within with all that goodness. Exhale, take out everything you don't want, all the negativity, everything that prevents you from recognizing your true nature, from exercising your true nature, which is love and wisdom. Out all those impurities, those physical impurities too. The body has to be radiantly healthy so that you can be more enduring in your practice of spreading out all the teachings. And even if you're not a teacher, even if you don't know all the knowledge, just keep trying and doing your best. Being kind and loving to all beings. And the good will come to you. Remember, everything is perfect, even though you encounter challenges in your day-to-day life, on the mat, in the practice. everything is rolling out in the perfect way in order for you to evolve and learn. Be grateful for all the experiences and just do your best to just keep on moving towards a more elevated state of mind, body, and spirit. Just do your best and see the light in others as well. So now, let's carry that intention out into the world with us, into our day-to-day lives, in all our interactions. Come back to see it now. Move in a way that is gentle, that is slow, that is mindful and reverent. We'll close with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it out to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.